Okay, the city of Asheville, who has a mayor that looks like one of those millennial dummies, real like hippie wannabe. Issued an apology for slavery, the thing that happened to this country about 1 million years ago. Okay, so, and they talk about, how the white people owe money to black people. So, what they're going to do, they're just going to invest, they're going to throw some bones, some dry bones to the black residents, which is about 17% of the population and about 75% white population in this town, of all this guilt-ridden white people, this pathological altruist. And now, so they issue this formal apology for slavery. Now, the question is, when are black people going to say, thank you for getting us from a hellhole like Africa into the United States? When are black people going to thank the white people for allowing them to have the greatest standard of living on the planet, right? If they were left in Africa, they'd be living the way Africans live today. And I don't have to tell you what that's like. Now, so they talk about the brutality and the blood. Okay, keep in mind that there were 2,500 lynching from 1865 to 1926. Okay, 25. For those who cannot do the math, that's 2,500 lynching. Of that number, 900 of them were, believe it or not, non-blacks. They were either white. A lot of white people were lynched in the South mostly, and there were some Indians and some Mexicans. So that means that 1,500, that's 1,500, within that 60-year period were blacks. All right. And by the way, those that were lynched, all of them committed some awful crime like murder and rape or murder rape. So that's 1,500 blacks that were lynched over a 60-year period. Now, considering that blacks kill nearly 3,000 white people in this country each and every single year without a miss for the past 75 years, who needs to do the apology? It's blacks who need to do the apology to whites for the murder and the mayhem of white people. And also, not to mention the property damage that black rioters commit against white property owners. Okay, and the amount of money that white people have to spend on things like prison and education, because this is all subsidized by white taxpayers, of blacks who basically don't learn anything anyway. So, if anybody should be apologizing, it should be blacks. And not only they should apologize, but they should thank white people for allowing blacks in this country to have the highest standard of living of anyone else in the world. Okay? So, these people in Nashville, they're just crazy.